Good morning. I'm Seth with According to Seth. How are you doing today, Becky?
I'm great, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And I've been really looking forward to this interview. So I'm really excited to talk about your role in this movie. And congrats on it, by the way. I watched it last night and I absolutely loved it.
Isn't it fun? Fun and dysfunctional and wonderful.
But yeah, what family isn't, right? So what was it about this role that drew you to it?
Initially the writing. When I got the script, I thought it was one of the smartest scripts I've read in a long time, especially my role, because it's infrequent that women this age are kind of explored in this way. So it was very exciting. I thought the writing was so smart, all the characters.
Yeah, it definitely felt like, I mean, the cast, it had such a big range of incredible personalities. So, do you have a favorite memory or moment on set when you were filming this that stuck with you?
Oh gosh, so many actually. My favorite, of course, is going to be getting up and singing with Rodney Crowell, which was living my dream. It was Sue's dream, and it was also Becky's dream. He is a spectacular country singer, artist, Grammy-winning songwriter, and to have that opportunity, that Harula Rose wrote that into the script, was just a miracle to me, that I got to get up and sing a song with him. There's that, but also the other actors. Each one of them, Josh Radnor, Rob Hubel, and John Ashton, that create our core family. It was just pretty remarkable every day, actually.
It's funny you mentioned, the karaoke scene because I absolutely loved it. So, do you have a go-to karaoke song if you were to go sing some karaoke?
I wish I did. Somebody told me the difference between, I began in this business as a chorus girl on Broadway. I
Hmm.
was a singer dancer for years. And so when I sing, I tend to do these like big Broadway up tip, which never work in karaoke. What works in karaoke is something that everybody else wants to sing and kind of, bang out. And my taste in music is so opposite of what really works in karaoke. So I never do well.
Yeah. Well, you did great in the movie. So,
Right.
um,
Right.
you have such this incredible career. Obviously, Freaks and Geeks and Girls and just so much more. So, what has been your favorite role and your most challenging role that you've taken?
Oh, wow. Gosh, hard to say. When I look back and I also look at the theater pieces, I got to work with Stephen Sondheim 4 times. And just I look back and I was a military kid from Kentucky, and I never in a million years imagined that I'd have a career that actually, fleshed out the way it did. So when I look back, I also look at the theater projects and the film and TV, and working with Judd Apatow both times, Freaks and
Mhm.
Geeks and Girls. I just worked with Paul Feig again. It's just been that idea that I've gotten to work with some of the artists that I've worked with repeatedly. And so that's kind of fun. But most challenging, I would think maybe A Simple Plan with Sam Raimi, because it was freezing up in Minnesota. And I made this insane choice to go barefoot for that scene where we all get blown up.
Hmm.
And, because I figured I was just being called out of bed. And so it was freezing. I never have been so cold in my life. And it took a week to shoot that scene. So that was challenging in so many ways.
That's
But
awesome.
All Happy Families was terrific because it's a woman that's retiring at the top of the film, and she doesn't know where her life is going to go. She has no idea what to expect. She's trying to figure it out. So that in itself is also challenging.
And I love that you bring that up because that's kind of my next question is at in the end of the movie, you say stop wasting time, and then Graham kind of goes over and goes after the girl finally. So is there anything that you would change or tell your younger self with the knowledge that you have now?
Wow. I think it would be great to go back and say, don't worry so much. In the industry that I'm in, it's so easy. You never know, or you rarely know what the next job might be. I wish I could go back and say, it's all going to work out. You're going to do just fine. You don't have to I remember not getting one particular job and I was crying so hard. I went to swim laps
Hmm.
thinking that would help. And I cried so hard I filled up my little goggles
Oh wow.
while I was swimming. So I think it would be just, if I could go back and say it's all going to work out, just don't worry so much.
Yeah, definitely. And is there anything that you would still like to accomplish, or something that you just haven't had the chance to do yet, that that message kind of like springs true for you, where you'd like to go after it?
Well, yeah, I mean, what I love are the surprises in our business because all of a sudden you'll get a script and you'll go, "Oh, I never expected to ever get to do something like this." So, I just want to keep being surprised, like hopefully people will think of me in these interesting ways like Harula Rose did and send a script or an opportunity that, is a surprise.
Is
Yeah.
there one like type of role that you really like to go after next?
Yeah, I keep thinking I haven't not, I'd play a lot of moms and a lot of that, like that, and I played a lot of judges and things
Mhm.
like that. But I'd love to, I would love to play somebody that was a little more eccentric and not mom centric, but like somebody's agent,
Mhm.
somebody's crazy Sue Menger like agent. That's what I'm looking to do. Somebody just really eccentric and crazy.
That's awesome. That I would love to see that too, honestly. Um, family, it can be such a crazy thing, but it can also be a beautiful thing. And um, do you have a favorite memory or moment recently from being with family that was special to you?
Oh wow. Yeah, I just actually flew in a couple days ago from Cleveland, Ohio. I was visiting my 95-year-old mother
Oh
for the
wow.
week. And she lives with my younger brother and his wife, and I gave them a week off and stayed with her. So, when someone's 95, you're you're appreciative of every time you can spend with them. And so that was great. And it was also fun to see my brother and his wife and to give them some time to relax and get away. So
Yeah, I'm sure that was awesome. I know I thought that was like the perfect question for the theme of the movie, and I was like, I had to ask that.
yeah, that's great. It's a good one.
Thank you. One moment that really stuck out to me in this film was, when you went and said, "I can't believe this is my family." We've all felt that and have had those awkward Thanksgivings, and this film felt so authentic at portraying, what most families are like. And I like how important that was. So, how important was it to you to showcase that and showcase that authenticity?
It's interesting. I was thinking about the quote of the film, of the title of the film,
Hmm.
and that quote, I wrote it down so I wouldn't misspeak it. But all happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. And I was thinking, I was thinking about my own core family, my husband, my daughter, now my new son-in-law, and how we're happy. We're just
Hmm.
four happy people. And I mean, there aren't things that we don't need to kind of work on or get past, but we live in a world where you know we're a happy folks. And I was thinking, it's a blessing of whatever karma or whoever
Hmm.
when you are with people that are happy and doing the things they want to do. You know, so I'm not sure if I've answered your question, but
No, you did it. I
I was
just I
thinking about that this morning.
it felt really authentic, and I just loved how the dynamic of the family worked, because you always see these movies and shows that show just this like happy family, and that's not always the case, you know?
Right, right. And especially in the film, Josh's character, Josh Radnor, his character Graham is having a tough time getting started in life. And one wouldn't necessarily think of that as a heroic character. And
Mhm.
yet in our movie, we care so much about him and we care that he gets what he's looking for. It's written with wit and but it's also, you see his struggle. So I think there's a lot of good in that.
Definitely. And you kind of bring up some of the other characters. And one of the things I really liked about this, I mean, like I said, we kind of feel like outsiders in our own families. And through all this family chaos, your support of Evie, I thought was really touching. And you say again, I can't believe this is my family. It kind of felt like you felt like an outsider. And in a way, it kind of like strengthened your connection with her. Do you
Mhm.
think that was the case, and what was it like to work with Ivy?
That was my favorite. Well, I hate to say favorites, but that was one of my favorite scenes. To be able to like say, what are your pronouns? To have this woman who's obviously never confronted this situation
Hmm.
really step back and say, okay, what are your needs? What pronouns do you want me to call you by? What you, yeah. I mean, it's if we all met our unusual circumstances in our families with as much compassion as Sue does, her
Hmm.
grandchild, we'd all be better people. We'd all be happier people. She really puts some thought and care into her granddaughter, who she loves deeply and who's now a daughter and not a grandson.
Hmm.
It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, I thought like through all of the chaos and all of what was going on, that moment between you two at at the table, I just thought it was really like a beautiful moment amidst all of that, and I thought both of you did such an incredible job there.
I agree. I don't want to give anything away, but
Yeah,
I love that. I love that so much. Uh and again, in the writing, I can only give it up to Coburn Goss and Harula Rose for writing such an extraordinary script.
they really did. And one of the things I wanted to ask today is obviously Halloween's coming up. We're in October. So, do you have a favorite horror movie to watch to get you into the spooky spirit?
So I'm a real chicken. I watch most things through my fingers still. I mean, it's really terrifying. But my husband is in one of the best all-time Halloween movies, which is Trick or Treat.
It's my
And
favorite.
yeah, he's Dylan Baker
Yeah.
is my husband. And so we always our poor daughter grew up in a house where around Halloween we had little figures from that movie that he was given that we'd put around and they would freak her out. But she once had a group of friends come over when they were teenagers to watch Trick or Treat for Halloween. And he waited till the right moment and came out of the kitchen with a knife and they freaked out. I think some of them are still running. It was just so I have to say Trick or Treat is my favorite Halloween movie, even though I probably never really watched it all the way through because I'm such a chicken.
I mean, the movie is the perfect Halloween movie. It gets everybody in the spirit, and it encompasses everything that's Halloween. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that. Is there anything you want people to know about your character? Anything you want people to know going into this film?
I think go into the film. Well, I think women 60 and up should go see this movie because it's really about a strong woman who doesn't know she's strong, retiring and getting started on the next part of her life in a way that we all should consider. I mean, I think that is the strength in watching this my part of the film. Of course, there are many other wonderful parts of the film, but anyway, I mean, we rarely get to explore someone, a woman my age, getting to do that.
Yeah, it was honestly a beautiful thing, and I absolutely love the movie. And last question I have here for you is, I use movies as a way to connect with people. I think it's just such a awesome tool to use to help bridge the gap and help somebody understand you better as a person. So, is there one movie that you always recommend to people to help them understand you better?
Wow. Okay. My husband and I fell in love over It's a Wonderful Life. The fact that was both of our favorite film. So when I think of, if I think of a film that if you want to know exactly who I am, it's that I'm just a sucker for It's a Wonderful Life. But also when I'm on an airplane, I like to watch romantic comedies because, especially those long European flights.
Yeah.
So I've probably watched Notting Hill, I don't know, 12 times. Because it's the perfect movie without tension. And, if you're on an airplane and you don't really want to think about cruising, 40,000 feet up, it's just perfect.
Your passengers are probably like, "Why is this person crying and laughing at the same time?"
It's
Well,
true.
thank you
It's
so
true.
much for meeting with me today. I had an absolute blast getting to talk to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. You too. I enjoyed talking to you. Take care.